Hey everyone, welcome back to Those Fake Nerds. I'm your host Brian, and you know what? Video games, they're gonna be more expensive. Genie's out of the bottle. Nintendo said that they're gonna be between like 80 and 90 bucks. Xbox, Microsoft said the same thing. I'm sure Sony will be quick behind, and people online, gamers, not especially happy about it, understandably so. And one gamer tweeted at Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford and said, "I hope this game's not going to be 80 bucks." And Randy had a comeback to that people, well, they didn't really like. They didn't appreciate this very rich man telling them that their next game, Borderlands 4, is going to be even more expensive. And I do wonder if there's an inflection point where only like the top tier games are going to be successful at this $80 price point, and then there's going to be a lot more games that are incredibly expensive to make, but people can't justify paying $80 for, and they're just going to kind of fall by the wayside. And then presumably a lot of indie or lower budget games that are able to sell for $20 to $40 will fill in the gaps. But for a while there will be like a massacre of AAA games that just aren't quite good enough to justify those price points. But bringing it back around, of course, I'm not saying Borderlands 4 is like that. I've never really liked any of the Borderlands games, so I won't be paying it $80 for it, nor would I even be paying 60 if we're gonna be honest. Just never really was my thing. But let's go over to PC Gamer, and this is written by Andy Chalk, who says Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford wades back into the Borderlands 4 pricing controversy. Game budgets are increasing, and it's getting gnarly out there. Pitchford shared a recent video from Backseas to explain the truth about video game pricing. Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford took some heat yesterday when he dismissed concerns about Borderlands 4 potentially launching with an $80 price tag, saying on X, "If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen." Today is an effort to calm the roiling waters left in the wake of that ill-advised statement. He shared a brief video clip where he described as the truth about Borderlands 4 pricing and the reality of the rising costs of video game development. The clip was actually recorded a couple weeks ago at Pact, but Pitchford reshared it earlier today because it's definitely relevant to the controversy of the moment and provides a slightly more nuanced take on the matter of game pricing. Pitchford begins by saying he doesn't know what the price of Borderlands 4 will be, but then he dips into why higher prices across the board are almost certainly on the horizon, saying, quote, "On one level, we've got a competitive marketplace where people that make those pricing choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about the people who are price sensitive," Pittsburgh says in the clip. So there's some folks that don't want to see the prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There are other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing and there's tariffs for the retail packaging, and like, it's getting very gnarly out there, you guys. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget of Borderlands 3, more than twice. And that, he continued, is why Borderlands 4 is so awesome, because you guys showed up and supported Borderlands 3. We had the budget. We could more than double the budget of Borderlands 4 and feel confident in that, and that's awesome. When the revenue comes in, we could spend it to make better games and better games, to make bigger and better games. There's no doubt that video game development costs have exploded, but I can't shake the feeling that Borderlands 4 costing twice as much as it was to make Borderlands 3 isn't so much as awesome as it is a reflection of the inherent instability of big budget game development. Simply put, if Borderlands 4 is going to be twice as good as Borderlands 3, I'm going to guess not. It's nice to have lots of money to throw around, but no guarantee of quality, or more importantly, success. And as we've seen with recent releases like Dragon Age Veilguard, success is a highly malleable term, subject to the whims of the C-suite. Pittsburgh's biggest problem, though, isn't the reality of our capitalist society, but the nature of his original messaging that left everybody so cold, and today's post doesn't seem to have changed many minds. While there's some sympathy for his kinder, gentler approach to Borderlands 4 pricing in this PAX video, plenty of anger remains, as do assumptions that the new Borderlands will launch at $80 for the standard edition. The thing that you guys need to realize is that most people don't care what your game's budget is. Panic Rolling wrote in a reply to Pitchford's post. It is your own fault that you decided to spend more than twice what Borderlands 3 costs to make this one, and I'm almost promised your game is going to fail financially because of that decision. Video games aren't food, they're entertainment, and each game is fighting for our customers' money and time. It fit with Jared wrote in a separate reply. If gamers feel that $80 is too much for one game, they gotta move on to something more affordable and not look back. Maybe, inevitably, Pitchford didn't help himself on that front with his closing remarks. If it's cheaper than $80, then maybe we'll sell you that mini map that you guys want, but we'll develop that later. He said, how bad do you want that? $10? He then repeated, I'm just kidding, or am I? No fewer than 3 times through awkward silence. That's bad. So I certainly get from his point of view, we got to make the money back. But, and like he brought up good points of like the shifting prices of things due to things like tariffs that are completely out of control. But as the Xer Twitter users pointed out, choosing to spend twice as much on the next Borderlands is a little bit Randy Pitchford's fault. So if people come into it and are like, hey, straight up cannot afford to pay this, I'm going to pass on Borderlands 4, and it fails because it's $80, that's going to be on Pitchford and, you know, the future of Gearbox. So we'll see what happens. I don't think coming out and being like antagonistic about it is the right move. I think if anything, you should probably like come hat in hand and be like, hey guys, shit sucks, but it's going to be $80. Hopefully we prove that it's good enough for you to pay that much for it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. And that brings us to, what are your thoughts? Do you think that it is going to be worth spending $80 for Borderlands 4? Does Randy Pitchford kind of being a dick about this whole thing make you not want to pay for Borderlands 4 at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Other than that, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our main channel. We get everything. We have video essays on there. Our Wicked Good Sports channel, which is like this channel, but about sports. And our podcasting channel, which is Better Radio. I'm Brian. I'm a fake nerd, but this has been some real news. We'll see you in the next one.